Hello and welcome to another episode of Minecraft on my hardcore single player survival server. I did a little mining off camera, but that's okay. I didn't get any resources or anything. I'll show you what I did. So basically today I'm going to open up the the ability to do basically industrial district kind of stuff like that in a safe manner. Um, And in order to do that, I'm going to make use of a data pack that I've had on the server since the beginning on the world since the beginning that I haven't shown anything about. It's really simple to use, doesn't require any codes to activate, but the way that it works is actually really slick, and you can tie it into a number of designs if you choose to. Looks like my inventory is pretty full. Eat. I can get more dirt later. I knew I heard a zombie. Dah. Dah, zombie. Yes, repair my shovel. So, the idea over here, one of the things that I learned with my library is I have two levels down below where they can go down to sleep. And so you go down to the first level and it all works, and the beds in that area all work. But then I have it go down to another level, and the villagers don't recognize any of the beds on that level. It's only about this different between the two. And so this one goes down another level, and this is where I'm going to demonstrate the data pack. I built out this room because it basically takes a, I believe, 7x7 space to operate. And I have the materials in this box, although it looks like I'm going to need to take one of my junk boxes and fill it with junk. So we'll just throw this random, that's not random. Margravine Lascelles sticks with me. I'll just throw all these things in there for now. Oh, actually that's part of my build idea. There we go. Oh, I need that one out. This is what you get for only getting 6 hours of sleep. But I need half of that and half of that. And the way that this works is you basically find the center of your room and you make a little 8-sided, or a little 8 piece of dust there. One out in each direction, one in each of the corners, and then you chuck an ender pearl into it. Data packs typically work by building a multi-block structure of some sort and throwing an item onto it. There we go. So there is my teleporter. And you can just break the redstone in order to take it out of the network. I don't think you get the ender pearl back for that, but if you disable the data pack and remove it from the server, then the redstone will stay there, but it pops the ender pearl back out. So this on its own doesn't do anything, but if I had something like, say, I believe I chucked poppies. Oh, did I put them in my junk box? I had poppies. I think I chucked them. Because I have so many flowers around here. There they are. All right. So let's say I took one red dye, because that's what I got here. If you take this, just like with creating it, you can throw this on there and it changes the particle effects. Now it's got red on it. And the thing about that is when you start making multiple teleporters, they each get their own little wisp effect. And if you have a little bit of server lag, the way that I sometimes do, you'll actually see that what it does is it spawns in a bat and then it converts it to that wisp effect. And so the way the data packs work really is interesting when you look into them. I'm not familiar with like the code side of it myself. I'm sure I could learn enough to do a data pack if I were truly motivated to, but I don't know enough about how to string together the code to make it function. I'd basically have to rip apart someone else's code and modify it. And I don't really learn that way. I just know how to tweak things, which is probably what I'm best at. So while I'm over here, this floor they recognize, but nobody will go down here. And so I took the beds out of here and I moved them all into other places and I crammed them into these rooms. So now there's 5 beds in here and 5 beds in there and 5 beds in there. And so the villagers actually recognize them and will continue spreading, but they will not recognize that lower level. I don't know if it's because this is pretty much in line. No, that's pretty much in line with where it goes down. It might be a height difference from the bells and other beds. Like they may not be able to go more than a certain distance down, or it may just be that they're too far from the bells. It may be that they have an issue pathfinding through that doorway, and if I made it wider and taller, they may be able to find their way down there. I haven't figured out what the issue is, but that's why I didn't do multi-level cells over at the temple area. So this is still underway. I'm going to have to do a little bit more off camera because this trip takes about an hour. Basically, what I'm going to do to prepare for building a industrial district that's not constantly loaded while I'm up here is I'm going to go visit this guy's home. Yeah. Remember that that episode where I found the bamboo? Yeah. I found him on the way home. So I found an entire mushroom island, and I basically have to go that way until I hit the shore, go that way until I find the tunnel that I dug through the thin spot in order to carry the boat and him through it. And then from there, it's mostly heading in that direction until I reach the island. It might be a little bit north, I'm not sure exactly, but I know that it's in that direction, and it's quite a ways away, and I don't know exactly where it is. So it will take me a while to find it. But once I have that, I have the other pieces for the construction in my building chest, my building shulker, and then I can build the teleporter at the other end and instantly travel between my temple and the mushroom island that he came from. And once I'm there, I don't have to worry about zombies and creepers spawning inside my machines because it's a mushroom island. I can also safely build a teleporter hub on the mushroom island, and that'll allow me to set up a network here. If you want to do a network, you just put an item frame down in that blank center of the teleporter, and you put a name tag with the name of the network in that particular spot. And as long as it has the name tag with the name in there, then that portal will be part of that network. That way, if you have a bunch of different teleporters, they don't all get, like, it doesn't get inundated with teleporters. I could make a home network, or I could make a I can make a home network, I can make a dungeons network, or a mine shafts network. I don't know if the teleporters work across dimensions. Like if I were to build a teleporter at an outer end city, could I teleport straight home from there? I don't know. I haven't been to the end yet. But it would be interesting to find out if you can teleport straight back to an outer end city with this teleporter system, and I will find out once I get that far. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking for, I guess I'll have to make a piece of paper, and yoink, and then I name said piece of paper. And then I will name another one. That'll go in my building box. And so the one that I have is home. So I just take this down here and I chuck it in the hole. This one is now labeled home. And I'm going to need this. I do have room for that in there. The reason for these is because if I was going to do something, I don't feel like taking that mushroom with me back to the island. The benefit of these teleporters is that any entity inside that ring, when you teleport, when you select where you're going, any entity inside that ring will teleport with you. So like if I make a villager breeder, I can simply make a teleporter inside of what's going to be a farmland for 2 villagers, and I can bring 2 villagers, push them, minecart them, whatever, into that circle. And then when I teleport into the villager breeder, those 2 villagers will be teleported with me. I can then break that circle and go somewhere else to another villager station of some sort, and I can teleport villagers to that station. So the benefit of the teleporters is that you can take things with you. So if I wanted to bring more mushrooms here, I could do that really easily. I don't even need a fence here because I've got that. But that's what I have leads for. So let's say I yoink the mushroom and stick them to that. Now I can take my boat. But first, gotta sleep. So, it's daytime. Let's back out of here like a proper gentleman. And with that, I will see you on the Mushroom Island. Hey, who's the idiot who forgot a bed? Sun's going down, but right here, way up at the corner of this this watery world, I found my tunnel. This took a little while. Thankfully, I had a bucket on me when I made it. Oh, hey, I still got some resources around here. But since I had the mushroom, it was literally this much space that I had to get through. I did leave my bells here. Nice. Gimme. What? Gimme. Oh, my inventory's full. Yeet. Give me the bells. I must have left this area quick. I did find a buried treasure map, but I'm not going after it right now. I don't need that coal. I don't need the string. I broke my pick while going through there, so I had to make a furnace. I might as well have an extra one of those. Let's get away from the land while we still can. So yeah, now I'm on this side, trying not to smack into the ice. And then second leg of the journey begins. This is the hard part. I know how to get to my cave. There's no real other way to do it. Just follow the shore north. But from here, this is the big ocean. I can go north. I can go south. There's the jungle was up that direction a long ways, and then there's more ocean beyond that, and then there's kind of a peninsula thing somewhere over there, and then the ocean goes way that way. So I will see you when I find the Mushroom Island. Hello, welcome to this Mushroom Island. It's not the biggest, but it'll definitely suit my needs. I think I've found a good enough place. Right around here, there was a brown mushroom. Probably not much bigger than that one. Definitely not as big as that one. Somewhere in this area, and I chopped it down so I'd have room to build. So I'm going to need some stone, just so I've got 3 stone bricks to start. But do I have silk touch on this? I do, yay! I always wanted a little bit of mycelium. There. I can't really lay down the foundation without, or I can't lay down the teleporter without first making the foundation available. So there's going to be my 5, or there. And there is 5 by 5. And then I'm going to need to go out 1 more. And that will be the foundation. I just need to fill that in, and then it is ready for redstone. You quit growing down. Eventually, I will have more materials to build with than just stone bricks and stuff, and I may come back through and update some of my builds with some more attractive stuff, but for now, I'm just worried about getting stuff down. So, in my builds box here, building materials, I need the paper, I need the redstone dust, and I need the ender pearl. So, that one may be wrong. There we go. There, corner, 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 and that didn't work. Probably landed too close. There we go. And there's hub. And now if I stand on hub, I should... What? Where is my teleporter to home? This is not part of a network. I've tested this before. It should work. You know what? I didn't test it on the Mushroom Island. I'm wondering if the way that the teleporters work, where they spawn the bat, I'm wondering if bats can't spawn on Mushroom Islands. Because if that's the case, I'm going to need to move my hub off the island in some direction so that the spawning of the little particles will work. Rude, rude. Well, there goes that. I guess I will play around a little bit and I'll let you know what my discoveries are. So much for that piece of paper. Okay, it has been some hours since I last was on here, and I finally figured it out. I'm not entirely certain what the problem was, but as you can see over my shoulder right here, I have a little wisp thingy. And if I step out of the circle, it goes away. Step back into the circle, it shows up. You might see for a moment of the frame there that it's a bat, like I was saying. So this is all taking place an entire work shift after the last recording session, and that one had a small break between it and the first recording session. I believe what the problem was, if I exit and reload the game, these teleporter chunks unload, and they need to be loaded in order for the teleporters to work. So if I punch this, it teleports me into here. And there's that one. You'll notice it has a name tag new because I broke it and I tried moving it around. It still didn't work because this chunk was not loaded. So this one, I guess the home name has been lost, but which I've read is a potential issue with this one. Sometimes the name tags for specific sigils get lost, but it's that easy to transport between my base and the Mushroom Island. Now we'll just take a real quick check here and see. I've got my mushroom blip right there. We are in. It keeps giving me this loot box opener from the loot box data pack. That's annoying me. Ah, my blip is back. So if you have a server and you have a whole bunch of these things, you may have noticed it was laggy right there while it loads stuff in. If you have a server and you have a whole bunch of these things, they are chunk loaders. They will load the chunk that they are in. So you probably want to use F3 and G and make sure that they are within a chunk border. So you're not loading 2 chunks or 4 chunks. And so you want to make sure that your circle is entirely within 1 chunk so that you're loading that chunk specifically. Because the more chunks that this thing loads, the more lag your server is going to have. So that's great. It's working. My God, that took a long time to get working. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back over here because I'm not going to have anything attacking my villagers while I'm over here. And I'll be able to take a look around and see what I can consider because, like, I'm not too worried about making a sugarcane farm or a bamboo farm or something like that and having something spawn in the middle of it, but it's still a possibility. And now that I've verified that the hub works, I will want to basically from here dedicate space out in the different directions that I can turn into other teleport platforms, possibly have some verticality to it so that I could have different floors of teleport platforms. I did reread the page for the Parasha teleporters, and it does say that they are both interdimensional and infinite distance. So if you're having any issues, it's not that you're too far away. That is one thing that I tried, and it's not that you're in the wrong dimension. It's, in my case today, and the entire time I've been trying to make this, the problem was that while I was at this one, I had logged out and back in, and I think you have to have at least them linked in order to start chunk loading. Because I only had one, I don't think it chunk loaded. So when I logged back in this direction over near this, when I logged back in, it unloaded the chunk at home. So I built this and it didn't have a dot to go to. And then when I went back to test, I unloaded over there and it didn't have a dot to go to. So I eventually figured out that I had to be in the chunk with one of them and then travel all the way to the chunk with the other one of them in order to get them both to load. And as you just saw, I tested it. Once they are both loaded, unless something goes wrong, you can exit and shut down the server and come back and it will be working, because I completely exited a single player game which shuts down the server and my teleporters are still working. So that's great. That means I can build a network out of this one, or I can just name this one Hub. And basically, I think I would need to have a network dedicated to this one that would go like from here to my home and then to somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else after that, but make them be points of origin, and then maybe have a different teleporter for like end locations, another one for nether locations. This is lagging a little bit, but I don't think that's activating two teleporters. I think it's something that may be running in the background because I was having a little bit of load time issues with web pages while trying to look up the issues with this. So I think it's just plain computer problems. Anyways, all that aside, sorry for being long-winded, I have ideas. I need to make plans, work through things, look at that, resources, but without interrupting my hub, I need to figure out what would be a good layout for some sort of farms in this area. I'm also probably going to want to go home once it's daytime and talk to my cartographer and get a few more blank maps so that I can map out, the entirety of the Mushroom Island. Possibly do a zoomed out map so that I can have one map that shows the whole island at once, although the details on it are going to be a lot weaker that way than if I do a map like I did at home where I just put 9 maps together to build the village. So I think I'm going to just take a look around the Mushroom Island while I let some time pass, and then once I have an idea of the kind of things I want to build here, then I will come back and give plans for the next episode. Okay, so done a little bit of stuff in the background. I had to reset my shader pack. It started raining. Everything was getting all janky. Yay, renamed. Because the color also got reset. I had made it red. You may notice right behind this thing, there's a map, or rather 9 maps. So this is what it looks like. That is the size of my little 7x7 square, so that's a little bit of a representation of what I have to work with on this here island. And I don't really have too much time on this episode to go into detail on what I plan to do here. So I think instead I'm going to save that for the next episode. And yeah, I do want to kind of show off a few more of these data packs as I go through, kind of like I did with the loot crates data pack, loot boxes data pack when I had the cave spider spawner. And this one, I of course did Parasha's teleporters, and there will be a few more things that I want to show off as I go through. But I think next episode, we're going to do some redstone. because I'm not very good at it. I don't have very many things that I've created myself, but I need some farms. I need some farms and I need materials. So we're going to see what we can get in the next episode and where exactly to put it on this here island. And hope to see you there. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one. And definitely enjoy this. By the way, my Minecraft did crash to desktop between the last the last recording and this one, and I haven't had those freezing lag issues since. So I think there was something that was wrong with Minecraft's boot, or because of the time of day it was, perhaps my antivirus, anti-malware was running its scan cycle, and maybe that's what was causing the freezing. But at some point since making this, my computer has stopped freezing. So we'll see you in the next episode, and have a good day.